Hello. Welcome to a weird show that you probably weren't expecting. Well, maybe you were. You probably watched the last video, so yeah, you were. Um, what the hell is this, Puddy? Where the hell are we? What the hell's going on?
We're here at the Verizon Center in Washington, D.C. for Raw's most recent pay per view. Wait, what is this?
Apparently, neither of us know. So, of the past couple weeks.
Where's Vince McMahon?
Yeah.
He'll explain it.
Yeah, Vince McMahon will explain it for us. Vince McMahon is gone. He's dead.
What?
No.
Well, he did fight at Unforgiven, and he was seriously injured.
And we haven't seen him since. And since in that absence, there had been a hole. Paul Heyman jammed his hand into said hole, and then just began like tearing, like it's a seam in reality.
Jesus Christ!
And all of his goons flooded through. I don't think that was not meant to be taken the way you're taking it. Okay, he's dealing with time. All right, he's tampering with the fabric of the universe.
I see.
He basically bullied Coachman into completely disappearing off of TV.
Yeah.
Who knows what happened with Coach? Maybe they killed him as well. But basically, for the past couple of weeks, about a month and a half or so, right? Maybe 2 months even. Monday Night Raw has been Paul Heyman's show. He just has been running it. And because he's been running it, when the time came for Raw to run a pay-per-view, Paul Heyman happened to be sitting at the desk where, that call comes in.
No, I think there is more to it than that.
Oh, okay. I'm wrong.
Well, I think you've been right all so far, but I think there's more to it than just right place, right time, right? There's a reason why Paul Heyman was able to pull the strings and get this show.
Yeah, because Paul has not been... I mean, how straightforward do I want to be with this? I guess straightforward enough. Paul Heyman has been working towards this for a little while, like slowly building up his ranks, his own kind of brand in between Renee and RBD, which then eventually expanded to Sabu, and then Tommy Dreamer came in, and then the Dean Malenko-Chris Jericho union is vaguely associated on the ECW banner. Dean Malenko definitely is. Chris Jericho's kind of just hanging out because he has fond memories. He likes the vibe. It's a good place to be. And then at the exact same time, Paul Heyman doubled said force by, I don't even know, he brought together like a bunch of wrestling, I don't really want to say prodigies, but essentially he brought together what he believes to be the future, his Paul Heyman's new breed, as he's been calling it. Basically 4 young men, Marcus Corvon, Elijah Burke, Kenny Dykstra, and Dolph Ziggler. He's essentially gathered them from all different corners. And it was for Renee, right? It was meant to be kind of a counterpart to the original Sting. Rob had his buddies, and Paul was going to bring in a whole bunch of buddies for Renee. But Renee didn't like that. He's not a man to really ever move in a pack, not since La Resistance kind of fell apart.
Call a spade a spade. Paul was trying to give Renee some goons.
Essentially, yeah. And Renee doesn't play that way. Basically told Paul Heyman off for it, and ever since then, their relationship has steadily frayed to the point to where now it's practically non-existent, despite the fact that he is in the main event tonight fighting Rob Van Dam for the ECW championship. I think that covers like the broad strokes of like where Raw is in terms of its like head up.
Yeah, I think you did a good job. I just want to reinforce, you said it, but I just want to reinforce for people that the whole reason why this show is happening, the reason why the pay-per-view networks have agreed to run an ECW pay-per-view here in 2006, and the reason why we've been able to book the Verizon Center, right? We're actually drawing money, something that the original ECW could never claim to do.
Such a great line. God damn.
Is because Paul Heyman has successfully created a must-see match, a must-see event. Rob Van Dam and Renee Sebastian Dupree, Paul Heyman's two prime products, battling it out for the ECW Championship. And it is around that Paul Heyman has been able to build this show.
Yeah.
So before we get into the rest of the show, big thank you to our patrons. Appreciate you guys. Massive thank you for all the support. It's what keeps us going. We're very appreciative. And a special thanks to our featured patron this show, which is Fast Life One Hand. Very much appreciated. If you want to check out the Patreon benefits, link should be in the description. So the rest of the show. So go on.
I just want to drop this in here while we're talking patrons. We have I have floated an idea about some of the saves, and I know Puddy can actually see some of them up in the corner there that I have, like the past versions of it, and maybe putting a couple of those up on there. Not sure if people would be interested in that or not. I'm not baiting you at all to tell me you would like that, but if you'd like that, do let us know. Because it's an idea.
Yep.
I
know people have talked about in our previous series, and I think in this one too, getting their hands on the saves. So that could be definitely something we look at as part of the Patreon.
And I could also block out the pictures that I've done for the series so far and throw them up there. Because
yes, if we do that, and we can talk about this more off stream, if we do that, we would have to make sure that's not behind a paywall, because then we would be in some. We would actually
that's fair.
have
That's
to be
fair.
very
Good
careful.
Good show, buddy. Good show.
That would be fine. You know, we can give the saves out under a paywall, and then just the photos are just for everybody to use.
This is why you. This is why you have a lawyer, vaguely guy. I don't even know if you're a lawyer anymore, but you were at one point going to be. You know law things. You were once you were a lawyer on a Minecraft server. It's like that's it. This is the guy.
Judge.
Yeah. We don't talk about that. All right.
So usually we would go through the matches as we go through the show. Now tonight is not a sports entertainment show.
Yeah.
Tonight's a wrestling show. So I think we should run down the card. We shouldn't be too in depth on every match. I don't think we should sit here for half an hour running down the card, but we should run down the card before we run the show.
I'm down. Is that how I would normally run down the card, where I literally just tell you what the matches are? Or are we explaining a bit?
Giving the context.
Gotcha.
Enough context that we don't need to give the context during the matches. But again, I think for some of these, it can be as simple as...
This is what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think an example of that is Mark Henry Umaga. We've seen them battle for a long while now. Tonight, it's a dog collar match. It's probably the one to settle it all, in my opinion.
It's the rubber match.
Yeah, they can't escape each other. So, we've got Edge and Mick Foley teaming up to take on D-Generation X in a hardcore tag. DX had kind of taken an issue with Edge. They had done some questionable things in order to make fun of Edge, which...
Yep.
Yeah. And suddenly we found... suddenly, there's that word again.
Oh, yeah.
That's a throwback. We found Shawn Michaels laid out. We thought it was Edge. Triple H thought it was Edge. We all knew it was Edge. Edge was in the ring, and he said, "No, I literally didn't do it, I swear." And Triple H was like, "What? Why do I actually kind of believe you?" He turns around. There's Mick Foley. There's a DDT. The next week, Mick Foley told us all why he did it, and it's because he's tested every single member. Well, not every single member. He has tested many members, many of the big members of this quote-unquote new generation of guys, Edge, Randy Orton, John Cena, and every single time he's been impressed by them, and he is tired of people who have their seniority, you know what I mean, their experience, using their position to speak ill upon the new generation. And so much so that he's gonna try to like beat them up in a hardcore wrestling match. We have John Cena versus Tommy Dreamer, which is also a hardcore match. You know, you can see the theme happening here.
Yep.
Cena and Cena wanted
It's
a match.
the heart of ECW versus the heart of WWE. I think that's all we need to say.
It's fair. Cena wanted a match. He got a match. Can he handle it, though? Lita is challenging Tori Wilson once again. This time it is an Extreme Rules match, a hardcore match, whatever you want to call it. Taz will let you know.
Switch between the two. Yeah.
Taz will let you know. He'll say whatever. I think that's also explained. World Tags Champions Eminem defending against Malenko and Jericho. I already kind of brought up that they'd formed a bit of a union together. Jericho reminiscing positively about his experiences, wanting to relive them maybe a little bit. Randy Orton, Orlando Jordan.
Well, a little bit extra on the tag match, because there is a bit of beef between these two teams now, where so you smart marks might be aware that Joey Mercury tested hot this month for a prohibited substance under the wellness policy.
Did he?
Full details of that have not been released.
Oh,
but Chris Jericho actually mentioned it live on Raw one week.
Oh my god!
And both him and Malenko kind of made fun of Eminem over that. Next week, Eminem clearly not happy. The violence level in this feud has been escalating seriously to the point where Joey Mercury is now having to wear a protective face guard because he suffered a bruised eye socket recently. So, can expect that match to be quite feisty.
Perfect. Randy Orton, Orlando Jordan.
This is a good one.
Yeah, I mean, how far back does this go? It's probably not that far back, does it? I mean,
I think around the SummerSlam point, they've had a beef with each other since they were on the same brand, really.
I was thinking so. I was like, I'm pretty sure these two have always just pretty clearly not liked each other.
No.
And we're kind of revisiting that. I don't know if we've ever had. I'm sure we've probably had a proper match between the two of them. But regardless, crux of this is essentially Randy Orton. When he sees his opportunities, he takes his shots. And when Orlando Jordan has those opportunities, he doesn't take the shot.
Well, that's what Orton says.
Well, that's the narrative they want you to believe going in. You know what I mean? Can he do it? That's what Orlando's got to prove.
Another one that is intensely personal, Randy Orton, to try and make that point, assaulted Orlando's close friend and promoter, agent, Robbie Dauber.
Disgusting.
So, bad blood between these two of the most explosive talents in the WWE right now. I do not expect that one to be a long, drawn-out encounter, let's just say that.
And speaking of explosive, it's the suicidal, homicidal, death-defying maniac, Sabu, taking on the Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley, in a tables match.
Title on the line.
I could give you a bit more background, but you don't actually need it all that much.
No.
Honestly, it's going to be...
There has been a growing tension between Vince's guys, including Lashley, and the ECW originals. But it's clear from the start that these two have exemplified that. And they haven't really been able to have their match. So tonight, they're going to have it. And Sabu is chasing gold. That's why Paul Heyman said Sabu was here, to win gold. So, could do it tonight.
Exactly. That's the card. Let's do
Other
the
than
thing.
The main event, which I think we have covered extensively.
Yeah, that Renee, Sebastian Dupree, Rob Van Dam, ECW title match. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh God, yeah, okay. There's a lot of people here. God, it's just very, very startling. I feel like I'm at a TV. What's going on? Because we're just in the ring. The show just starts. The dark presence that looms over us all is not here. Paul Heyman's in the ring, and he welcomes us all to November to Remember. It's 18,277 people here in the Verizon Center. And it's all because of every single one of you that this is even possible. We have come back from the ashes like the Phoenix. We have quite literally built not only back, but further than we ever could have gone before. And it's all because of you, the fans, the people who really care about this shit. Thank you. Seriously. Thank you. It's also thanks to, the money, but, whatever.
Gets them riled up.
Yeah.
Gets them ready to go. Hypes up the show. Says ECW a bunch. And then Ric Flair comes out. And we haven't seen him in months. Not since he was defeated in a street fight by the Samoan bulldozer Umaga. And Flair's going to make an entrance. He's going to get to the ring. He's going to get on the mic and say, Paul, it looks like you're having a party out here. Well, it's not a party without the nature boy, the styling, profiling, limousine riding son of a gun. So I'm coming out here to make sure that you know that this is a party atmosphere. But I tell you what, I hear a lot of stuff about ECW. He pauses, looks out. There's probably a pop when Flair says ECW. Are you sure you're in the right place? Because this... He points out to the audience, this is the Verizon Center. There's 18,000 strong capacity crowd here. Are you sure this is ECW? Because this doesn't look like a bingo hall to me, partner.
Jesus Christ.
Paul can just no sell him. Just stare at him a little bit. All right, I'm Paul. You're running the show. You booked the Verizon Center. You sure you got the capacity for that one, Paul? Is the check gonna clear on Monday? Woo! No? Okay. He struts around a little bit.
Paul just looks. I think Paul probably just sits there in the corner and just watches him, and it's just okay.
Some of my friends told me to go wrestle in ECW in the 90s. I told them if I wanted to do a lot of work and not get paid, I would go into the porn industry. Woo!
What the fuck?
And then the New Breeds theme can play, and Elijah Burke can come out, and then Paul can say, wrestle him then.
Yeah, basically. Just like, Ric Flair, you're so concerned about missing out on the party. Don't worry, buddy. I've got a starring role for you. Face Elijah Burke. Go. Right now. Yeah, no, seriously,
Ring
right
the
now.
bell.
Yeah, right now. What is the changes?
New gimmicks?
What am I handling? Oh, yeah. I think we'll save that.
We will save that.
I think we'll save that. Yeah. Nice. They wrestle.
Marcus Corvon using subtle mannerisms to hint at a future.
Hell yeah. Turn. Why as he targets Ric Flair. Yeah, so this match, Extreme Rules, I think we were saying it's fairly competitive, no?
Yeah.
It's back and forth. The New Breed guys are around the ring. They're lurking. I don't know if are the other guys going to hit Flair at all? Dykstra and Ziggler?
I think so. Maybe Flair can hit them.
I see.
Maybe they can go outside and him and Ziggler can stare each other down, and Flair gives him a chop, and then they'll pounce on him.
Perfect, because our big spot here. I love the pounce flop idea. It's so great.
Okay.
Elijah throws Ric Flair off the ropes at one point. Marcus Corvon slides in the ring and just trucks him with a pounce. Ric Flair doesn't go down. He just kind of is launched backwards and knocks off the ropes and starts walking towards Elijah Burke. And Elijah's like, wait, what? Huh? What the fuck?
I like to think we get the close-up of Corvon wide-eyed selling.
Yeah,
what
also
the fuck?
Huh? And he breaks out into a maybe two-step strut and then flops straight down. Which sets Elijah up, I guess, for an Elijah Express, which I think is the double knees in the corner, if I'm not wrong.
Ooh, I like that.
He just like runs at you and fucking double knees you in the face. Or maybe it's in the back. It might be in the back, actually. Either way. I think it's something to do with a knee.
Elijah Burke, a member of the New Breed, picking up a win over a 16-time world champion here tonight.
Indeed. We're going to hold off on the Corvon thing, I think, still.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the dog collar match. Hell yeah. Mark Henry and Umaga battle in a war. The two of them bump around a lot. Umaga's going to fall from something, maybe. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, we haven't mentioned the little idea we had in the booking that our stage setup for this show is a reconstruction set of the Hammerstein balcony with Trons underneath it.
Love it. Yeah, these two are going back and forth. The chain is, keeping them together. You know what I mean? Keeping them agitated. I don't know.
Keeping them in close contact with one another.
Yeah,
there's no
definitely.
escape from the car crash of human anatomy that is these two monsters battling each other for the final time. Both incredibly proud, both incredibly angry men, hoping that they can secure the victory. And of course, let's not forget Davari and Armando Alejandro Estrada in their corners, encouraging their charges to go that extra mile and win this contest. However, dog collar matches were not designed with these animals in mind. And at about the 10-minute mark, they're clearly, revving it up. They've got that momentum going, and they're pulling at each other, and they're realizing the chain is constricting them, and they both pull at it with all their strength, and it snaps. And then these two men are unchained. What do they do for the rest of it, Tucker?
I would like to imagine from there we can start setting up like more I don't know, maybe like complex spots. Like maybe we could like I'm thinking somebody's gonna get suplexed onto like maybe pile of chairs or something. You know what I mean? Something to take advantage of the fact that we're now disconnected. Somebody can go off and do a thing for a minute and set something up.
And that I think is why it plays more into Henry's wheelhouse, because he does like Umaga is more of that raw strength and striking offense, whereas Henry's got those wrestling fundamentals and suplexes, and that's what ends up switching in his favor. And Umaga is an impressive force of nature, but I think what we see in this match actually is that Mark Henry is just operating on another level. Henry's got the same strength, he's got the same passion, but from a fundamentals perspective, he's just got it all together.
Yeah.
Which is kind of scary.
A little bit, especially since like, oh yeah, he's done with Umaga now, isn't he? Or at least he'd like to be so. So
you suspect so. That's 2-1 now.
Which means he I don't know, I'd be watching my back maybe if I was really anybody actually on the roster, because you probably don't want to get hit by that guy. I'll be honest.
Beats him with a bear hug as well.
I love that idea. God.
I think is it possible?
Oh, I thought you were saying, is it possible? Can he get him up?
Was your idea? Was your instinct that he would be passing out?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just drain him and he's done. Yep.
And he drops the unconscious Umaga at Estrada's feet.
Perfect.
Yeah. Estrada has to take him home.
Ray and Dave are in the crowd. They're here.
We introduce him as Rey Mysterio Jr., of course.
Hell yeah, we do.
And this weird suited man who is his friend.
His friend. We get John Cena, Tommy Dreamer.
This was really good.
Yeah, all things considered.
They have a lack of psychology over the course of 8.5 minutes.
Oh, I knew that would happen, absolutely. Like, neither of these guys is going to formulate a match well. I probably should have mentioned that, and we should have maybe scripted something. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good idea. But I disagree with Cena. Come on. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Either which way, these two are all hard.
Wait. Sorry to interrupt you again, but I'm very confused. Tommy Dreamer is a baby face.
But they're a good pairing. So what the hell's going on?
Managed by Paul Heyman? He's a heel.
But they're also a good pairing. Could you clear that up
for me?
They're a good pairing, though. I don't get it. I'm so confused.
Okay, I'm still confused, but you can continue on with the match.
Yeah, it's a battle of two dudes who like have more heart than, well,
sense
for Tommy, definitely sense. Good God, it's just like two dudes absolutely down to just lay it all out and try to get the win. Dreamer has to rely on his hardcore tactics a little bit more. Cena can basically just work to his power and whatnot. Yeah, I think neither guy is probably going to give up in this, so I'm going to say no to the STFU game. I'm going to say it's probably a pin on Dreamer, because he's just not the type of guy to give up if he's conscious. And we already did a pass-out angle, unfortunately, so overwritten. Cena.
What about George Hackenschmidt and Screwjob
on the ECW show against the ECW guy? That's pretty funny. He's just whoever is the baby face, I will screw. I don't care.
So a little bit around this match. Cena's coming in, head down, title up. He knows the atmosphere, what he's going into. He's been here before earlier in the year. And this time he's even more aware than he was back at Raw Hammerstein in the early summer, right? And back in Hammerstein, Cena lost. So it's a different approach. There's no attempt to engage. He gets to the ring, one of the fastest entrances you've ever seen John Cena. He's out. He holds the title loud and proud. He is the WWE champ, and the champ is here. But he knows the fans want nothing to do with him. He takes his shirt off. He puts it in the corner. He stares Dreamer down. He nods. And it's time to wrestle. And yeah, you described the match. You finished describing the match, right? I'm not cutting you off.
Yeah, no, not at all. We're impressed by, Dreamer's heart. We're impressed by Cena's heart. It's not a super long match, but they, hit enough things on each other where we're like, hey, but those guys really went for it.
Cena puts him down with the FU, and then immediately grabs the belt, leaves the ring, walks down the ramp, and with his back to the crowd, he lifts the belt aloft, showing the audience the title, and then he leaves. Job done.
Fans are pissed, man.
Oh, yeah.
They're not happy.
Surely, but there'll be something to cheer them up, surely, next on this ECW show.
We have to calm them down somehow.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
No.
Yeah, DX comes out, and I imagine it's them at their most shit-eating. Like, oh, my God. I imagine Triple H is particularly brutal because he can be. I forget what things we had said. Triple H is like, none of you have
ever... a geek in 2001. You go on.
You're still geeks now, 5 years later. You've just got nothing better to do, nothing going on. It's all just ECW. The company doesn't even exist anymore, dude. It's like a plaque on my fucking father-in-law's shelf. Like, bruh, these fucking guys. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. They don't like Shawn Michaels. Imagine Triple H does most of like the heel work here, but they're still probably booing Shawn the most.
I like to think Shawn's the guy doing the ECW. He's just like doing, he's mimicking it. Yeah.
Perfect. And they're gonna fight Edge and Mick Foley. Yeah.
Yep.
Mick Foley seemed off his game. God damn it, Mick. Can't be.
Damn, Mick.
They're like, the crowd was already hot, apparently. They're already pissed. You don't need to piss them off anymore, man.
That's the point, though.
I think before I get into the actual match here, I might forget it, and I don't want us to forget it. We're thinking at some point the fans probably get hot enough at Sean to chant, "You screw Brett," and we'll do a sharpshooter spot there because, haha, wink.
On edge.
Yeah, wink, wink. Oh yeah, just Canadian. Hell yeah.
Yep.
I forgot that. Good stuff. Canada. Nuclear heat, by the way. If we were in Canada, I hate just. I was worried.
Get the last laugh though, as he spears Sean and picks up the win.
Yeah, it's a smoke and mirrors tag, man. What do you want?
Yep.
Perfect. Edge and Mick Foley find a way. The crowd is happy. One thing we did say there. The DX promo there is cut off by Metalingus hitting, and that's just the fun fucking idea, I think. Just they're like, oh, you fuck these guys, I hate these guys, who's gonna shut up these guys? And then the cool song hits, and they're like, hey! We've got a women's title match.
She's a survivor.
She is.
Tori Wilson bleeds for you as she goes through her second major hardcore match of the year. And unfortunately, even though in this one, I'd like to think she does a little better. Like, she's going to take some ridiculous bumps in this match.
Oh, yeah.
And keep trucking on. And I like to think that she does do a little bit better in this one. Maybe she gives a little bit more. She uses a couple of the I think we'll make copious use of some barbed wire baseball bat in this one because I think it's a good spot to get both of these girls bleeding.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Lita is just, I mean, she's fantastic. She's really good. She's got that quick pace, that high octane offense, and she is eventually able to keep Tori at bay, wear her down, to outlast her and hit her with that lead assault and pick up the win to win then become the new WWE Women's Champion.
Just wanted to point out, fantastic heat and good wrestling. Good wrestling from Tori Wilson. Icon.
Thank you, Tori.
Icon. And after the match, I'm thinking, like, in my head, I should have said this before to clarify with you, but in my head, I'm thinking very much like end of the Iron Woman or whatever with Bailey, where she's just like a mess, and they do the interview with her. It's Lita. She's got the belt. She cries. I think we specified. You must cry. Cry now, woman.
Yeah. I think she starts a little bit more triumphant, like yes, like she just shouts yes and holds the belt up in the air. Like, it's been a long journey back to the women's championship, and I can't think of any better place than right here in Washington D.C. at November to Remember to won this title again.
She was in ECW years ago.
Yep,
but it wasn't a very long time. But she was there. She was there,
and I'd like to think that out of everybody on the WWE women's roster, represents the core of Extreme better than anybody. So I wanted to thank you for your support here tonight, for all of your support over the years, and I could not be where I am without you. But it has been a long road, and nights like this take a lot of years off one's career, and I've had a lot of nights like this. And I think, unfortunately, I can see the end of that long road. It's been difficult to come to this decision, but I think it's time to announce that in 3 weeks' time, at Survivor Series, I will wrestle my last match. And I'm glad that I get to do that as the WWE Women's Champion. But you know something, at the beginning of this summer, when Trish Stratus said that her greatest rival was Nat Hart, as great as she is, it awakened something in me, and I couldn't end it knowing that was what she thought. So Trish, I hope you're watching. I hope you saw that, because I am your greatest rival, and you are mine. So at Survivor Series, I want my last match to be with you.
Awesome. Tune into Raw to see if she accepts.
Because Trish isn't here.
Twitch.tv/Masadiro. for the TVs. Getting better at just throwing that in somewhere in the middle of the show. It's going to get more eyes. Hopefully. Maybe. We're still like 35 minutes in. We get like a narrated, I don't even know what you want to call it, like mini
highlights package.
Yeah, essentially. Featuring just like
mockumentary.
Yeah, the clips of the mockumentary.
That is like home video.
So, it's essentially just a bunch of clips of Rob Van Dam, the original ECW, as television champion, tag team champion, whatever else. In that original run, he was never world champion. He's finally gotten that world championship. He finally gets to defend it tonight as like an actual wrestling championship. He's been here pretty damn long time, all things considered, and he's like honestly the franchise of the whole company. Get fucked, Shane Douglas. I didn't mean to use the word franchise, but the moment I did, I went for it. Go for the throat.
He's the whole fucking show.
Yeah,
we can say that tonight because our rating's high.
Yeah. He's been the whole fucking show since, like, 1996, 1995. Like, 10 years ago.
A decade of excellence. A history of extreme.
We get Randy Orton and Orlando Jordan.
Wow.
Puddy, you like this match? So,
hell yeah.
Explain.
It's two men who absolutely are aware of what the other man can do. So there is not a lot of contact, honestly, in this match. It's only 6 minutes and 46 seconds. And it is two men. They both are really actually quite good grapplers when you get down to it. They're not the best. They're not elite. We're not talking about RSD here. But they really can string a bunch of moves together. And against normal opponents, they might be willing to do more of that. But both men know that actually the opponent is carrying a nuclear weapon in their arsenal. And for Randy Orton, that's the RKO. And for Orlando Jordan, that's pretty much anything he does with his iron fists. Fists of steel?
Solid steel fists, thank you.
Solid steel fists, right? Orlando Jordan is probably the second best natural striker in the WWE, after The Undertaker, of course. So he is really, those fists are something you should watch out for. And both men know that this match could be over in an instant. And they're very prideful. They very much want to win. Randy Orton, let's not forget, is arguably the best wrestler in the world. He beat Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam this year. He's beaten the likes of The Undertaker, Shelton Benjamin, Batista, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Rob Van Dam. Anybody you can name who's anybody in this business. Randy Orton, at the tender age of 24, has beaten all of them.
I think 26.
26. He's a 3-time world champion, the youngest world champion of all time. And he can end matches in an instant. Not only can he do that, he has the instincts of a killer and nerves of steel. But Orlando Jordan looks his equal tonight. And both of the what's weird about Randy Orton is that we don't often see him cautious. We don't often see him hesitate. But he is in this match. He is showing Jordan exactly the same respect that Jordan is showing him, which shows that Orton is worried that Jordan's got that ability to hit him with everything he's got. That's exactly what Jordan does, because Randy's not able to get that RKO tonight. His lights are turned out.
Nice.
Is the blackout a punch?
It says submission, so I doubt it. Unless he just keeps punching you until you die.
Yeah. It's a technical submission, He punches him and the ref's like, "Oh, it's over." No.
Good stuff.
Is that the finish? What finish do we give Jordan? Is it just a straight punch?
I was kind of thinking it was like a straight punch or something. I don't know, but
maybe we could have a spinning back strike. What I'm talking about? Yeah, like
spinning back fist type deal.
Back fist, yeah.
Because if we do an elbow, then that's the Chris Jericho move right now. Yep. We don't want that spoken.
Cool.
Not the legal troubles.
Yeah. Wait. Also, I just want to pause a second on that last result. Orlando Jordan.
Yeah.
Just beat Randy Orton.
You sound like you're surprised.
Randy Orton's the best wrestler in the world, Tucker.
Yeah, but Orlando Jordan's
a huge result.
Orlando Jordan's got hands, dude. Come on.
Oh, 100%.
We got the World Tag Team titles. Okay, I'll take it. This match is generally some spots. I'll be honest. Like we're gonna go out there and do a bit of a banger tag team match. I think Johnny Nitro is gonna really impress some people with his offense, his ability to move, especially in relation to Jericho and his ability to kind of do some of that stuff, and Malenko and his ability to do like none of that stuff. So he'll end up looking like really cool that he can like flip and do spins and shit. And Joey Mercury, with his injury, with his black face mask on, it's actually going to get ripped off at some point during the match. He comes out of this looking like kind of I think the word beast might be a little like hyperbolic, but he's certainly a really tough son of a bitch. And he probably didn't even need to work this match tonight. Maybe it might have been kind of dumb to do so, considering they were defending their World Tag Team titles. But, Joey just keeps going. And, he's thrown off things. He's thrown through things. His face is all matters of fucked up looking. Yep. And it doesn't really matter to him. He's not, doing everything that he would normally do. But he's definitely, I think, doing a lot more than any person would expect him to do in a match of this nature with these guys. And Eminem's going to find a way, and Nitro will pin Chris Jericho off of the snapshot. In the crowd, we see Simon Dean, and next to him is Stevie Richards. Oh my God! It's the BWO. You remember?
I want to mention on the last match as well that there's a strange atmosphere related to Chris Jericho in the audience tonight.
Some strange things are occurring.
Yeah, and there's a little period after the match where Eminem leaves, and Eminem will probably cheered and clapped by the fans because they just sort of, it's the kind of vibe where I think that they would be appreciated.
Yeah.
But there's a little quiet moment where, there's a little thank you, Chris chant. It's a little strange, but Chris takes his time to take in the audience.
We'll see. We'll see. We will certainly see. Oh, hell yeah. It's the banger. It's the best match in wrestling history. Lashley, Sabu, tables. Let's go. All right.
This one's yours.
Yeah, it is. Sabu is a different breed in these types of matches. Like, normally, he's hard to control. He's hard to contain. He's hard to fight against. You put him in a match where inherently, like, there's no restrictions aside from, hey, don't go through a table. It's gonna get it's gonna get like, there's like a level. It's like the level past the level. You know what I'm saying? The level past the level. That's the level under Sabu's
turning it
level.
Up to 11.
Yeah, that's the level under Sabu's level. Even Sabu's
exactly. On a 12.
Exactly. He's just a suicidal, homicidal, genocidal maniac. He's also death-defying. I forgot that one a lot. So this match can initially start out with these guys trading a little bit of moves, but after a little while, it starts to become quite clear that Lashley is maybe not totally comfortable in these rules against this type of man doing the things that he's doing and willing to do. Sabu is going to get sometimes he's going to get wrecked here a little bit by Lashley. Lashley's going to hit some big power moves on Sabu. And Sabu, for the most part, doesn't really affect him. It doesn't really matter to him. He just gets up and keeps going. I think something I had kind of thought of was I would probably rather end up saying a ball of energy, because that makes more sense than a ball of fire moving around. He's a ball of energy, and he just zips from point to point to point, and if he touches you, it's going to hurt really badly. Lashley tries his best to work the wrestling match that he can, but it's pretty clear it's not going to happen. Sabu is gaining momentum, and as he's gaining momentum, he's taking it even further. He's up to 13 now. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
He starts making some kind of construction on the outside. Like he pulls out a table and puts it down and looks at it, and then takes a few chairs and like stacks them on top of the table and shakes his head a bit and puts the chairs under the table, and then takes like a ladder.
A few
and
of those chairs have barbed wire wrapped around them.
Yeah, he takes like a ladder and puts it on top of the table.
And I remember with these shows, we're not using those. At this time, they would be black WWE sterile standardized ladders. This is like kind of ladder you find at Home Depot. It's an old school, like painful to land on piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
He lays some chairs on top of the ladder and looks at it and thinks, "Oh, tables match. I need a table." Duh, and gets another table and stacks it on top of that, and it's this really Ricky looking construction thing, and he's like, what else does it need? He pulls out like a board with some barbed wire on it, and he throws it up there, and he's just looking at this wonderful, magnificent construction of death that he's made, and he smiles, and it's time, and the crowd feels it, and he turns around and goes back into the ring, slides in, and I don't exactly know how you want to handle this, because you said it wasn't out of nowhere. But
I think what I meant by that is that it wasn't like in the middle of the match out of nowhere. I
see. Okay.
We had this little break, and as he slides back in,
there's a table set up in the corner, basically right where he comes in, and Lashley just tanks him and slams him right through it. Spear. Apparently it's a Dominator, which like is kind of crazy. Just like the game, like you just
sound cool.
Flip him up and boom.
But I think
I'd rather
we're looking for more of a spontaneous. Yeah.
He just and he doesn't even like spear him. I mean, I guess we say through a table, but I mean he goes through a table. Like I mean, Bobby Lashley like does not aim to like just let's hit the table. He's like, no, I'm gonna like drive you into the corner. That the table's behind, and they just hit like a truck.
And both of them, I would imagine, are like a heap of humanity afterwards, because Lashley's been through the ringer as well.
Oh, yeah.
And the bell will ring, and, he'll be announced as still. There's probably like a mini pop from a portion of the arena because it's a crazy moment. But I think a lot of people are stunned into silence because Lashley's really pulled something out here. And Sabu, what a crazy performance from him, and for him to not come away with the Intercontinental Championship at the end of it is crazy. But man, Bobby Lashley has been a henchman really for a lot of this year, but let's not forget this guy is a freak athlete, crazy amateur professional wrestler coming into professional wrestling with a litany of championships already, and now he's the Intercontinental Champion, and he's retained it tonight. He's one tough son of a bitch, huh?
It's his first defense, yes.
He did beat Shawn Michaels for the title. Let's not forget.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It is main event time.
It is.
I think
the reason we're all here, really.
We have a video package covering most of the stuff that I told you at the top of the show about Van Dam and Dupree and the ECW titles on the line. Who's going to be the face of ECW going forward? An established guy. I refuse to say old, because I would not say Rob Van Dam is old.
No.
He's certainly from a different time in this capacity. But he's far from old. He doesn't wrestle old, I'll give you that. And then a new, fresh face that Heyman has kind of brought up himself and kind of molded, I guess, into what he is right now. Because Rene Dupree was not Rene Dupree as we know him right now before Paul Heyman. He was maybe going to get there on his own, but I think Paul Heyman accelerated that so much. It's
so much advice and counsel and representation as well, in terms of like making sure you're in the right spot, that your interests are being served. Some guys like Renee, so concentrated on what happens inside the squared circle within the four, sets of ropes. those guys, we've seen it before with people like Nat Hart. They sometimes need somebody who's willing to fight their fight because they're not going to do it themselves in order to get as far as they can get.
I probably shouldn't have gone into that stuff that I did in this angle, because now Paul Heyman is going to say that stuff to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he says, I got the guy who's not old, he doesn't wrestle old, but he's from the older time, and the new guy that I made and I helped create, and he's as good as anybody, and they're going to fight for the best fucking title in the world. Yep. ECW, bitch. Let's fucking do it.
Yep. And these two, they take it in, they take that atmosphere, and Paul can do their introductions. From is it Montreal, Quebec, or no? It's not, is it? It's a different city. Where's Renee built from?
I have no clue.
We'll call it Montreal for now. Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Right on.
One of the longest reigning intercontinental champions of the modern era, a king of the ring, semi-finalist, and one of the greatest young grapplers in this industry, the future of the WWE, the future of professional wrestling, Rene Sebastian Dupree, and his opponent, the whole fucking show, the ECW champion, one of the most exciting, most electric, most spectacular wrestlers in the history of this industry, one of the most innovative, one of the most intelligent, one of the most athletic men in the history of this business, a man who moves like a cruiserweight and is built like a middleweight and is the current reigning, defending ECW heavyweight champion of the world, Rob Van Dam. I have brought you all here tonight to watch this match. Well, feast your eyes and enjoy.
Let's do it. Will the boys pull through? Good work. Good work, gents. Good work. Good work, everybody. God damn. Puddy, I want you to take it away with this, because you've got a lot going on here.
Yeah, so the first sort of 18 to 20 minutes of this match is a rematch redux of their Unforgiven one. So we've got sort of a mini match within the first 18, 20 minutes where these two are going at it. They don't need to warm up. They don't need to feel each other out. We know what it is. And it's Rob Van Dam coming out the blocks trying to set the pace. Getting those sequences flowing, high kicks, rolling thunders, things like that. And RSD probably a little bit thrown. Probably the opening of this match, RSD's a little bit lost to sea, and he's got to get out of the ring, clear his head, try and really use those, what we would probably call heel tactics, to slow down the pace of the match. He's getting out the ring, he's putting ring posts and stairs between him and RVD just to get those seconds and those openings where he can intelligently get a strike in or get a little, drop in or, something like that, just to keep the pace where it needs to be. And RVD is semi-successful at getting the pace quick at times, but RSD is one of the best in the business, and he is able to keep RVD from really getting the momentum going, really getting that high-pace, high-octane match that Rob would thrive in. And so it's a good contest. It's RVD trying to get the pace up. It's RSD trying to get the pace slower, and at some point, probably about 8-9 minutes in, when the pace has slowed down to what Renee would want, Renee can start implementing a little bit more of an end game plan. So for the first kind of section of this match, all Renee's able to do really is try to slow Rob down, because he hasn't got time to do anything else. If he tries to wrestle with Rob for long enough, the pace will get too quick. It'll get out of control. So he can't really do that. He's got to get out of the ring. Like I said, break things up. This is a hardcore match. Occasional, Renee, not really one for the bullshit, but we've seen him over the last few weeks and months starting to use weapons when he gets angry. He's angry. Rob, he's got a lot of respect for Rob, but Rob represents a lot of what Renee is unhappy about in the business right now. And Rob also represents Paul Heyman. And Renee really doesn't like Paul Heyman. So he's prepared to get aggressive and nasty. Those technical strikes, the likes of which we've seen in years since. Really like brawl-based offense, but that's very targeted at specific body parts to keep the pace low. But yes, eventually Renee is able to get enough control over the match to start working Rob Van Dam over. And what body part was it that we said he was going to try and work Rob over?
The lower back, I do believe.
Oh, interesting. How is he going to do that?
He's going to punch it. He's going to forearm it. Get some elbow strikes in there. Maybe he could shoulder it a couple times. Kick it. Knee it. Use his thigh to loosely hit it.
Lots of aggressive strike-based stuff. I think also lots of really nasty-looking stretches. Holes that just push him into those. Oh, that back's not, and then to bend that way. And we start to realize as we get into the teens, the 15-minute mark, the 16-minute mark, that every time Rob's trying to go up on the ropes or get up on the turnbuckles, he's wincing. It's slow. And not only does that mean Rob's in a lot of pain when he tries to get his offense in, but also that means he's slower, which gives Renee time to stop him. And this is a huge benefit for Renee in this match. And it's very clear as we are reaching that sort of 18, 19-minute mark that Rob is getting caught and caught and caught. At some point, Rob gets that fiery babyface comeback. He hits the Rolling Thunder. And Rob's selling the Rolling Thunder for longer than Renee is.
Yeah, that lower back,
because he's hurt.
Yeah.
And Paul gets worried. So at that point where Renee is getting up earlier than Rob is from a Rolling Thunder, what's Paul going to do?
Paul is going to make a dramatic motion. He's like, he's waving his arms all over the place. And we're like, what the hell happened to Paul Heyman? Is he okay? Should somebody check on him? And then from the back out come Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, and Dean Malenko. No, not them. Not them.
Not them.
What's happening?
It's Elijah Burke, Marcus Corvon,
it's
Dolph
the new
Ziggler,
breed
Kenny
instead.
Dykstra.
Holy shit! He brought out the Young Guns. He brings out the Young Guns.
Yeah, and they get into the ring and start attacking Renee. At which point, Rob, who's finally recovered from that Rolling Thunder, is like, "Huh? This is a bit weird. I don't need their help. I don't want their help." And Rob and Renee will start teaming up to fight back the new breed.
Right on. I got you.
At which point, so Rob will probably pair off with Marcus Corvon and Kenny Dykstra.
Sure.
Fighting somewhere maybe down the ramp. And Rene Dupree will do a crazy dive out of the ring to Dolph, Elijah, and Paul Heyman as well, who'll probably get caught by it a little bit.
Paul's like, ah!
And then Paul will scramble out of the way and will be like, okay, this hasn't worked. And so now he calls the ECW originals.
Yeah, Dreamer, Sabu, and Malenko come down. And they're trying to restore order here. They're trying to get Renee and Rob to start fighting each other again and not just attacking everybody else. They manage to do that. Things start to look calm. Until the new breed kind of collects itself and they realize, wait a goddamn second. You guys are you're exactly who we hate. Wait a goddamn minute. And the ECW guys kind of take a moment and they seemingly at the same time kind of have a similar revelation of, wait a minute, you are kind of primed to take our spots, aren't you?
Oh.
They start brawling because that's how wrestling works. Nobody talks about things. What are you talking about? Punch a man. Go ahead.
Yes, I think someone should ignite it. I'm trying to think. Maybe either a young gun hothead or one of the old guys. Maybe it could even be Sabu who's like, fuck it. Just starts running at someone.
I was going to say, unfortunately, not unfortunately, because ultimately it's probably better, but like, the Sandman, perfect for like that idea.
Yes.
Just the guy who would just fucking, in the middle of a standoff, just like shoot the first guy and ignite the whole thing. Like, oh my God, what the hell, man?
I think you should pick one of the blondes
Yeah, I
to
was
show
thinking
the
the same.
character here to be like, okay, they're going to be the hothead.
I was
So
thinking Dijkstra because to me
all right,
he's smaller. He's a little more like Weasley.
maybe Dykstra can like walk over, swagger over to Tommy Dreamer and just like push him. Tommy's like, the fuck? Did
Yeah.
you just?
And they all start
And
brawling.
then they just start brawling. Yeah. Except, so they pair off, right?
Yeah.
Dreamer's fighting Dykstra. Sabu is fighting Dolph.
Yep.
And Burke is fighting Dean Malenko.
Yeah,
And
okay.
they start brawling all around the arena. We kind of lose track of them. But we've also lost track of Marcus Corvon, who was fighting earlier. Maybe I think he got put through a table at one point.
Oh.
But he's just gone. I'm sure he's somewhere. It's fine. Oh, look, RSD and RVD are back in the ring and fighting has broke out again. RVD seems to have been given enough time for his back to be a little bit better. He's fighting through the pain. He's got that momentum and that adrenaline flowing again. And now, unfortunately for Renee, the pace is fast. And Renee is tired. He's just had to fight multiple brawls. It's not like the start of the match where he's got himself together and he's able to slow RVD down in a very systematic way. RVD setting the pace, and the pace is quick. And RVD is going to get a nice baby face sequence together where he gets his spots in. He hits the 5-star frog splash, and Renee's going to kick out at 2.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then we get a little break period. They're both selling. RVD goes over to Paul. It's like, what do I have to do? What do I have to do?
Paul's like, kill him. Kill him if you have to.
Kill him. And then RVD tries to go back to it, but we're long past the 30-minute mark here now. RVD's back's really badly damaged, and he's thrown everything he can at Renee.
Paul Heyman sprints up the ramp. I jumps on a headset, and it just says, "We're gonna keep going. Don't leave. Don't leave the broadcast. It's good. We're just gonna keep going until one of these guys cannot keep going. Okay. We're good. It books it back down to the ring.
We are now past the 3-hour mark of this pay-per-view.
Indeed.
And Paul pulling the strings to keep it going, and for good reason, because there's still a match going on in here. But like I said, RVD has thrown everything he has at Renee. He's tired. This is a long match, and Renee starts to take control again. And he gets a big hip toss on RVD, big crowd eruption, because at this point I think the crowd are probably cheering both guys. Anytime there's any big offense from both guys, the crowd are going crazy for it. Big hip toss. Renee beats his chest and turns to the crowd. He's channeling, and then maybe he's about to win. He goes over to one of the ropes, and Paul just kind of almost harmlessly, but in a slow you down kind of way, just grabs at Renee's foot. And Renee just turns to Paul and is like, what the hell are you doing? Have you not done enough? You've ruined this enough. We're trying to have a great wrestling match here. You said that's what you wanted, and yet you keep getting involved. And who is that behind Renee Dupree, Tucker?
Under the bottom rope, just like he did earlier, Marcus Corvon just slips under the ropes, holds, waits, primes, lines it up, launches forward, and I believe I didn't do it justice earlier. But it is I don't want to say it too loudly because I would probably just destroy somebody's eardrums. But essentially, pouts! That was terrible. What the fuck was that? That was not intimidating or inspiring. Yeah, it's a motherfucking pounce! He just fucking hammers that motherfucker. Boom. And Renee has just laid the fuck out. That's it. He's done.
He gets laid out. Marcus kind of gets to his feet and gets himself out of the ring. And, he's kind of chest up. I think Marcus is always a little bit puffed out. There's a lot of adrenaline that he acts out after a pounce. But as he leaves the ring, the shot is, as Marcus gets out of shot, it reveals Rob selling, kind of draped in the ropes, sitting down, seated, draped in the ropes, looking in disbelief at what he's just seen. And then he's looking at Corval, and he just looks disappointed. He looks at Paul, and he's like, "Oh no!" And then he looks at Renee. And you can see there's a lot of thoughts going through Rob's mind as he crawls over to Renee, and he drapes a hand over his shoulders. 1, 2, 3.
She did it! And still. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Yep.
That whole thing. Hell yeah. Honestly. Hell yeah. Do we want to... Is this where it happens? This is what I was thinking, but this still might be
It's
too
3.
short
I think
to matter.
I think 3 is the correct number, and that does feel like the heel turn.
Let's do it,
Let's do
hopefully. Yes. Poor. Nice. Good job, big man. Apparently, no, that's not not the number. That's not the number. No, apparently.
Gotcha.
Our bad game. Our bad. How'd we do? Acceptable. I love it. I love it.
Very good.
What do you
That's the best show ECW has ever run.
Who do you want to talk to here?
I think Renee and Rob.
Yeah, I agree. Pick one more guy. I'm hugging them.
Trying to think of anybody. Obviously, Corvon was everywhere tonight.
That's true.
And I think he did a good job, so I'd be happy with that. But I'm trying to think if there's anybody who actually had like a really hard job. Maybe Lita can be saved for Survivor Series, although she did nail it tonight.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah, Lita killed it. I literally
Sabu was really good. Sabu really did well.
Sabu did really well. Another name I was thinking of. Where the hell did he go? Nitro, just because.
Nitro.
Mercury, maybe because he worked hurt.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, I like the Mercury shout. I think Mercury shout's a good one.
Let's tell him he's worthless.
Yeah.
Told that he's awesome because fuck yeah, dude. Some cool shit. We're gonna end on a picture of like Joey Mercury seemed pleased. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Flash up the credits, Tucker.
Will do indeed. It's this tab. There you go. Special thanks. I'm not allowed to say your names, but
no.
Unfortunately, yeah, we're yeah.
But you know who you are.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it's good stuff. Do we have anything to specifically cover on like an outro?
I don't think so. Next time you're going to see us is Survivor Series. I don't think we need to hype that up too much. It's a big 4 show. There's going to be big matches on it. Already we have one booked. Gregory Helms taking on his former training partner Ken Shamrock, who is fighting for the first time since April. That should be a huge clash, and I'm sure there's more to come on that one. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the show or Survivor Series or anything really?
Yeah, I really like where we are, honestly. Like that show was, I don't know. Like it was very clear that we both had like a lot of stuff for it, and I think that showed. Hopefully it showed. There's some links down below. You can look at them, maybe click them. Yeah. We've got our Patreon down there. I already mentioned that. Puddy's Twitch is down there. Twitch.tv/Matsadiro, and also is Puddy's YouTube channel. But nothing happens there anymore. So.
True.
But I'll leave it there because I don't know.
Maybe it will one day. Who knows?
Who knows? See, that's it. That's all you need.
Maybe I'll come out of retirement for the great Royal Rumble.
Oh, what the fuck?
The greatest. I was making a Saudi joke, because all those old fucks. Yeah. It wasn't very good though because it's 2:00 in the morning.
It's fair. There also hasn't been a greatest Royal Rumble aside from the one that they did, so it's not like good.
Didn't they also do a greatest WrestleMania?
Oh, something like that. You're right. Where they were like, it's basically WrestleMania. It's like, what the fuck? No, it's not. Like, what are you talking about? Either which way. Thank you all so much for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed. We will see you for Survivor Series. For myself, for Puddy, for Joey Mercury and his bruised up eye sockets, for ECW, for Rey Mysterio and his strange, large friend, and the BWO. We'll see you next time.